Hi guys, my name is Nonima Digela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about what the defense's legal recourse when it comes to the immediate legal recourse when it comes to this because wow. A, raise an objection on the record immediately. They need to do that when they come back because they were not given opportunities as they were trying. Oh, Judge was in a hurry. He wanted to leave. Maybe he's going to a holiday somewhere. I don't know. But the way he was so much in a hurry today, mm-mm. The first thing that they can do when it comes to the entire saga that happened today, when they come back on the 19th of January, one, raise an objection on the record immediately. They must object as soon as court resumes and place the following in record. The judge is acting ultra vires outside his powers. His conduct prejudices the accused because it allows the state to repair its defective case. The interruption of the defense evidence is procedurally irregular. The judge has effectively reopened the state's case without an application. This is essential because appellate courts only deal with issues preserved on the record. Secondly, demand reasons. They must expressly ask, my lord, will request the reasons for this ruling. Why? Because without reasons, appellate courts can't assess the lawfulness of the action. This locks the judge into a legal rationale that can later be torn apart on appeal or review. 3, continue with the trial. Don't seek recusal now. You are 100% correct. Recusal now is very dangerous. Okay? 100%. The people that are saying that recusal is not at this stage is not needed, 100% correct. It's dangerous. A failed recusal a failed recusal bid creates the impression the defense is attacking the court. It delays the trial. It risks the judge refusing, and the defense remains stuck with him anyway. A later appeal court might say, why didn't you complain at that time? You acquiesced. The smart move is object, record the prejudice, demand reasons, proceed, appeal later. Number 2, what happens to the state's application to use the Gwabini statement? This is the biggest scandal of the moment. He did not rule on it. He did not deal with the arguments. He sidestepped the legal question entirely. Instead of deciding whether the statement is admissible, whether the state can use it without proving it, whether it meets the requirements of Section 3 of the Law of Evidence Amendment Act, he simply created a brand new issue. Let's call new state witnesses to clarify Gwabini's situation. That is not what the state asked for. That is not what the defense argued against. And that is not what the law allows a judge to do during defense evidence. The third thing, so did the judge embark on a new issue without an application? Yes, absolutely yes. This is improper because a court cannot invent issues that no party has brought before it. A court cannot invent issues that no party has brought before it. A judge cannot call state witnesses during the defense case. A judge cannot rescue the prosecution from the consequences of their own incompetence or incomplete evidence. A judge must rule on the application before him, not dodge it. This is why people are saying this move is so constitutionally troubling. Number 4, the 2 grounds for appeal review are now overwhelming. A procedural irregularity, interrupting the defense case, reopening the state case, and creating a new process without application is equal to gross irregularity. B, judicial bias or appearance of bias. The judge's actions favor the state by helping them fix weaknesses in their case. Appeal courts hate anything that even looks like bias. That is what we are dealing with here. Point number 5, when we are going back to our points, what the defense should say next time they see Judge Ratha on the 19th of January, word for word template is needed. We must give it to them. We must give this research to them. You can use as a commentary or a narration, whatever they will use it. My Lord, we place on record that the court's decision to call further state witnesses during the defense evidence constitute a gross procedural irregularity, severely prejudices the accused, and falls outside the powers of the court. We formally object and request full reasons for this ruling to preserve the matter for review or appeal. This is the minimum they must do, okay? Now, let's summarize everything that I said quickly because, wow, I'm even tired. The answer Judge Ratha is tiring, guys. Honestly, that man is tiring. The judge did not rule on the state's application about the Gwabini statement. He invented a new issue that the state never asked for. He reopened the state's case mid-defense, something unheard of. Defense must object, demand reasons, proceed, and later take it up on review or appeal. Recusal is the best strategy at this stage. All right. That is where we are right now. That is where we are. Judge Ratha. Name Mangazake. And it doesn't look good, okay? It's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking good. The only thing that the defense must do is to only the defense only smart move right now after Judge Ratha's shocking intervention on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. The only thing that they need to do legally, what happened today is legally extraordinary. It have never been seen, unheard of. Judge Ratha Mokgoateng did not rule on the state's application to use alleged Gwabini statement. Instead, he created a brand new issue and reopened the state case during a defense evidence. This is unprecedented. We all know this now. And we know what the judge cannot do: invent issues not raised by anyone, call state witnesses in the middle of defense testimony, rescue a prosecution from defects in its own case, interfere with the defense running of its case. Yes, that's exactly what happened when it comes to the case. So what must the defense do? No, not recusal. That's a trap at this stage. The smart move is to object immediately on the record, continue and take it up on review or appeal. The defense must put this on record. This ruling is a gross procedural irregularity, prejudices the accused and falls outside the powers of the court. Without that objection, the appeal court will say, you never complained, you accepted it. Yes. Yes, they must do that. And the next move, they must demand reasons. The judge must explain why he bypassed the application before him and chose to call new state witnesses. Those reasons will be crucial ammunition for review or appeal. Let's be clear, the judge never ruled on the state's application to use the alleged Gwabini statement without proving it. He simply sidestepped the legal issue and embarked on a new one. This is procedurally defective. The law does not allow a judge to assist one party by creating a new process when their case collapses. Court must be neutral, not co-managers of the prosecution. This move creates two big problems. And this move creates two big problems, two big appeal grounds also. Procedural irregularity, interrupting defense case, reopening cases state case without application, reasonable apprehension of bias, the judge effectively salvaging the state's case, both are powerful. Okay? The move creates two big appeal grounds: procedural irregularity, interrupting defense case, reopening state case without application, reasonable apprehension of bias, the judge effectively salvaging the state's case. Both are powerful. The defense strategy should be object on record, demand reasons, proceed with the trial, take it up on review, or appeal later. This preserves the issue cleanly and protects the accused. And the bottom line, today's ruling didn't just ban procedure, it broke it. The defense must lock this irregularity into the record so that the appeal court can deal with it. This story is far from over. The Senzo Meyiwa trial has just entered a yard. Yabona, they entered another level of, I don't know what you call it, but it's where they can never come back from. That's what I must say. They can never come back from this. Anyway, I'll see you on our next video. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.